Good morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here, Midwest Market Management. I got Riley Sykart on with me here today. It is Tuesday, January 13th. Soybean harvest underway in South America. Even hearing about just a little splash of planting in the safrinha corn crop already. So things are really progressing. Riley, what do we got for us in store for weather here today?
Getting to a pretty critical time of year in South America. So if there's a time to watch it, Clint, I'd say this is definitely the time. So moving over to the maps here, first thing I do want to do, put into perspective how big of an area we're talking about. I do this every report that we do. Um, Crop wise, the safrinha crop that we're going to start talking about more, we're looking Mato Grosso through Mato Grosso do Sul and basically make a big circle. But in terms of first crop, you're doing anything from Mato Grosso all the way down through central Argentina. And if you take just that one province, Mato Grosso, on a US map, huge area, almost the whole Midwest. So a lot of area that we're talking about here, guys. With that said, 1 to 5 day temperatures. This is a map that, Clint, you've been very busy, so you haven't had time to look at it, but it's looked really identical for about the last 3 weeks. This region of Paraguay, northern Argentina, and moving a little bit into Brazil, this little spot has been 90 plus degrees now for almost an entire month. So, is it a critical drought? I have not heard any reports of that, but it's definitely interesting to look at in terms of it points out not every area down there is perfect right now. As a whole and from a national yield, everyone that's been following reports knows the Brazil and Argentine crop look very large, but there are going to be some areas like this that are not going to be a record size. So 6 to 10 day, that heat is showing to actually start to slow down a little bit. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition or if they throw the heat back in there. Everywhere else, I can summarize pretty quickly, Clint. Mato Grosso all the way down through that area and into Argentina. It's not been very, very much other than 85 degrees and exactly what you want. So,
Yeah. They got the thermostat set to ideal.
exactly. So, looking at the last 2 weeks of rainfall, that really warm region caught some of this rain that was last week. Um, that Argentina rain that people were making a large scope of ended up being a little bit further south than some people thought it would. And then in Mato Grosso, a lot of those rains are from more in that 10 to 15 day window. So overall, not a whole lot of rain last week, except for this one here in the eastern region. And as we're moving ahead, next 1 to 5 days aren't showing a whole lot more rain in the mix. Getting to the time of year where the rainy season for South America is going to start coming to an end, especially as you move into February, March. So everyone should fully expect rainfalls to be turning lower and lower each week, and it looks like that's exactly what we're seeing here. So
Which
six to ten day
for the
also.
harvest standpoint, exactly what you want. We don't want to see a ton of rain on this first crop right now as you're rolling into harvest. Now, there's going to be a fine window there where the old crop comes off and corn's going in and you want to get some good germinating rains.
Exactly. I mean, they're going to need some rains to get that safrinha crop going, but are they going to need 5 inches a week like Mato Grosso has been getting over the last month? No. So, with that said, last map of the day, 6 to 10 day, there is a region here in eastern Brazil that does look to get some pretty solid rains, especially this province here, Goiás. That is a decent sized safrinha corn crop province. So, important to see that they are getting some pretty solid rains there. And I think that's going to keep farmers from waiting for rains. That safrinha crop, like you mentioned in the beginning, Clint, as soon as they get it harvested, they're throwing corn right back in the ground as quickly as they can. So, all that said, that's all I have today. And from a national yield perspective, the potential is still sky high.
Sounds good, Riley. Well, I appreciate you putting the maps in order here for us today. And, stay tuned as we move along the calendar year here. We'll start getting a little bit more into that safrinha crop once it gets rolling. And don't blink, Riley, and it'll be April and we'll be talking U.S. weather. So certainly, things progress quickly. So appreciate everybody tuning again in. Excuse me again, Clint McLaughlin, Riley Sykard, Midwest Market Management. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.